Mr. Meiyappan has finally decided to leave the airport. I think he's going to be sitting possibly in that police car, or is that an escort? That's not clear, but he is supposedly headed straight to the crime branch office in Mumbai, where he is going to be questioned. There was a police summons issued for him yesterday. He had 24 hours to appear before the cops. He was given time till 5 o'clock this evening. He had requested for time at 11 a.m. on Monday, but that request was rejected by the police completely. Saurabh, just take us through, you're still there with us, just take us through then what to expect. Are they going to question him tonight? Are they going to keep him there tomorrow? How long is this questioning expected to go on?
Well, Nidhi, that's one question that all of us have been pursuing with our sources. How long are you going to question him? Are you going to keep him overnight here at the crime branch? They are saying that we cannot, police sources making it very clear that we have a lot of questioning to do, and it is definitely going to go on for a while, but no timeline. It depends on how Mr. Gurunath Meiyappan cooperates. If he cooperates with the police say that then it could be, it could take less time, but if he does not cooperate, then of course the questioning will go on for some time. But like I mentioned, Nidhi, there are a lot of lines of questioning that the police have indicated, police sources have indicated, and all those lines of questioning will be pursued. So it will take some time, no time frame actually, but they are saying that the questioning will continue till pretty late tonight.
All right, Saurabh, we're going to stay on those pictures, and I'm going to bring my guests in at this moment as we stay with those pictures of Mr. Meiyappan coming out of the airport there and then leaving finally for that questioning, which is going to take place, as you said, immediately. You can see there the cars leaving, and the media has been waiting outside now for the last couple of hours, waiting to get a shot or some glimpse or even a soundbite perhaps, but it doesn't appear that Mr. Meiyappan is really keen to talk to anybody at this point. You can see all the camera people have surrounded his car at this point. Let me introduce the panel this evening. We'll speak over these pictures. We have, of course, Mr. Farooq Engineer in the studio with us. Our commentators tonight, Sharda Urgra, Siddharth Bhatia and Kishore Bhimani. We have YP Singh, former IPS officer, and Jayant Lele, former Secretary of the BCCI. Let me ask Sharda first. Sharda, a lot of interesting developments today, but to me what really stood out was Sharad Pawar's all-out attack on Srinivasan today. How does this change the story?
I think it's almost now pretty certain that inside the board there is going to be, through Sharad Pawar and through what we are going to hear in the future, there is going to certainly be a move to try and force Mr. Srinivasan to resign. To sort of step down, because they've said, sort of enough is enough, no matter what happens in the police inquiry and so on. The board has been besmirched too much, and it's possibly time for you to go. That's what Sharad Pawar's, the statement from his party, that's what it seemed to suggest is going to happen. And, Sharad Pawar does still have a lot of clout in the board, and it's definitely a sort of sign that his position in the board is not going to be very comfortable, no matter what has happened to the Twitter account of his son-in-law.
Siddharth Bhatia, your first thoughts on that? How important do you think Sharad Pawar's attack is today?
No, now it's becoming firstly a political game. B, they're trying to also ensure that the board doesn't get besmirched. Mr. Pawar may not be actually running the establishment, but he wields a lot of clout in various ways, through proxies too and by himself. But what amazes me is that a lot of this was in the public domain for months, maybe longer. Did we not know that Mr. Srinivasan was wearing several hats? So now there is a desperate attempt to ensure that the board somehow gets protected, the game gets protected, and most importantly, the IPL also doesn't get, doesn't just collapse. So I think he has moved in because all this while there was innuendo and reports and all that kind of thing, it was fine. But now it's gone to the very top. A man who heads the board, runs a IPL franchise. So now I think everyone will scramble to ensure that the board is not affected and the game.
Let me ask Mr. Farooq Engineer, when you look at this clamour now for Mr. Srinivasan to resign, do you think it's fair? Because there's really nothing that's actually linked him to any wrongdoing. Is it too premature?
Well, while we are at the business end of the cricketing side, the very important game tonight between Mumbai Indians and Rajasthan Royals, and the temperatures are rising. So few people are getting hot under the collar as well, with all sorts of accusations flying left, right, and center. That's the name of your program,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the advertisement.
No, the thing is that I don't want to be judge and jury. I want to wait till matters unfold. And at the moment, fingers are being pointed out in all directions, and perhaps not without reason. But I would just like to wait to see what everyone has to say, what facts are actually unearthed, and those who are found guilty, very, very harsh judgment should be
You
passed
think
on
people
them.
are jumping the gun in demanding the resignation?
We are jumping the gun at the moment. I mean, we have nothing concrete as such, have we? I mean, these are all accusations, alleged accusations flying. Delhi police have enough evidence to arrest Srisant and the other boys. But let's actually decide, let a judge decide that these people are guilty, and then we can pounce on them and take all sorts of actions.
Okay, Sharda completely disagrees with you. Sharda, why?
It's not about the judge anymore. It's about the fact that the board president has the team that he has. He's a major shareholder of. No matter how much Mr. Srinivasan suddenly pretends he's got nothing to do with Chennai Super Kings, no one believes him. That someone in power in that team was involved in a conversation of a kind with the bookie. Why has he been absent for 48 hours? If he was completely innocent, he would have come out and said, "This is absolute rubbish. I know Vindu Dara Singh because of X, Y, and Z, and that's it." He has been missing for 48 hours. Gurunath Meiyappan was missing for 48 hours. He was obviously trying to, I can only assume, strengthen his
strategize.
legal case. Yeah,
I
strengthen
was
his
going to
legal
point there.
case.
If someone pointed a finger at me,
You would just
I
you
would
were
have come
innocent.
out straight away and
Exactly.
said, "Hey, come on, guys.
Exactly.
You know, I'm innocent here."
This
Yeah.
is, you
But,
know,
why did
or
you
even
take the time?
protested and so on.
Well,
you know,
all
so
these
I'm saying
things
that
are
it's beyond the law.
leading to more and more
it's beyond.
suspicion.
It's beyond.
Yeah.
It's gone beyond what happens in the judicial process. That's one thing. But what happens in the IPL itself? If you've got someone who's an owner of a team who is betting, it's against the ethics and the sort of the model structure of leagues in England. Owners and players and officials are not allowed to bet, even though betting is legal in England. You know, it's not, and it's happening here. And I also want to say that, you know, this as Siddharth Patia was saying, no one spoke about. Everyone knew in the board that Srinivasan was involved with Chennai Super Kings and so on. It was written all the time, over and over again. We wrote about it. All journalists wrote about it, but they paid no attention to us. But now that the cops have got in, and you've got Vindu Dara Singh who's singing like a canary, they have to respond, and this is what their response is.
So Kishore Bhimani, does then Mr. Srinivasan's position, you think, become untenable? As the NCP today now says, it is morally difficult for him to continue. He must resign.
Well, Nidhi, the fact remains that it is long overdue. He should have resigned long ago. Look at the number of things, the number of issues involved. Number one, he is president of the board, and at the same time he owns a franchise. This was against the law. So what did they do? They changed the law. They changed the law, and as a result he could continue to hold this team. He has behaved in the most arrogant manner, totally intolerant of any kind of opposition within the board. And where he stands now, as Sharda Ogra just pointed out, is the third issue, that he owns a team which is hopelessly in disgrace today. That the team, so they tell us that the son-in-law of his, Gurunath, has got nothing to do with it. He is not the owner, not the principal, and yet I saw him at the auctions making the bids. Now, don't tell me that a person who makes bids of millions at the auction has nothing to do with the team except just an honorary member. Come on, I mean, how many people are you going to bluff? This has gone far enough, and I think it's time for Srinivasan to step down.